Morning. This is the first week within August. It started getting quite cool in the morning. The air is getting dry. It's getting comfortable. The September is smelling. I can smell it. I've been out of YouTube for more than half a month. Within this half a month, I've done more stuff than the half a year on the time I was on YouTube. I've sell a lot of stuff. I've sell bicycle stuff that I can let go and give up. The stuff I used to think useful, the stuff I used to look over. Bicycle components like this, and other bicycle stuff. I can let go, I can give up for my freedom, which is trading for the money to get the track and trailer ready, and to live here. Maybe once for all, maybe I live for a couple of years to really have my life, the life I wanted, not suffering here forever. So I saw a lot of stuff, some bicycle components I used to think it was useful. Maybe 2 years later, maybe 3 years later, when the world goes back to normal, then I go back bicycle racing. The stuff I will need in that way. I've given up road bicycles. Right now I don't have a road bicycle. I have a city commute 700C. I don't have a road bicycle because road bicycle components are quite expensive, and it's quite hard to collect them. It's because it's the price. And now I've completely given up road bicycle and only left my trekking bike, city commute bike, mountain bikes. I've even given up soft suspension mountain bike. Only have cross-country hardtail suspension bikes, which are mountain bikes but cheaper. I've been giving up a lot of stuff. I've been digging up I've been on bicycle for 15 years, buying components, build up my bicycle. So I've accumulated a lot of bicycle components, and I've been dig up the so-called garbage pile. It's a garbage pile full of bicycle components. I've been digging them up, and I've been selling them online. A lot of them have been sold, have been traded a couple of money for me, couple hundred each component. It's been a bit of money for me. Other than the big one was the giant TCR, the racing road bike. I sold it for 5,000 yuan. Other than that, I've been sold around 2,000 yuan for bicycle components. I can give up. So basically 7,000 yuan, which is around 1,000 USD worth of money. And I've been buying bicycle the wheels for my trike. Very robust wheel and sealant. I'm making sealant myself. I've been using the money for every way, all going for my freedom, which is get my vehicle ready. To make this less complicated, I've been let go and give up a lot of stuff for my freedom. That's the conclusion. And right now, the situation we're living is a form of a lockdown. You see, we live in communities, which is block by blocks, and every block of the apartment blocks has fence around it. And there were used to be theft and stealing up people's stuff, and the management of those blocks use that as an excuse to build up fences, electric-wise. Why would you need electric fence on the top of spiky fence, which made of I think it's a heat treated iron, whatever. It don't rust. It will rust, but it has paint protected. But anyway, to make this less complicated, they have electrified fence on the top of spiky iron fence. Why would you need that? To keep people inside, but not from people outside. They use the fifth, which is part of them, as an excuse to build up this fence, electrified, so people won't against it. Manipulation. So now they only left one entrance of this community. So basically, crop air run in, and if you want to get out, which is buy groceries or have your free time, you get this. You will get in the system. You will get checked. You will get PCR test. You will get whatever into their system. If you comply to their system, which is scan this QR code, whatever stuff, prove that you are safe. It's one of their method. If you're so-called safe, and you're good to go. Otherwise, you're fenced in, and most people give up and comply because of losing their freedom and lack of survival skills, and out of fear. And you down beneath this section of the fence used to have a crack, a hole. People have manipulated the people living here have managed to made a hole of this fence. Each fence column can slide a little bit, so they slide a little bit and create a bigger hole so people can get through. Now they're welding that together, back together, leave no cracks. It's even struggle for me, for my head to get through that narrow fence, let alone those obese other people living here. So there's no way for them to get through this, but it's okay for me to get through. I can get through it. But it's hard to get the trailer out. The trailer is big, so have to wait until their lockdown measures released. It's in the summer. They start to do this in summer. I think they will push vaccine in the autumn, and then lockdown back again in winter, during the winter. Yes, this is never gonna be end. This is only the start. They always say this is only the beginning, only the beginning. It's the beginning of hell. If you lack of survival instinct, when you lack of survival instinct, you fail to see it. You fail to feel. You feel all the fear, but being paralyzed and do nothing because you fear of it. If your survival instinct is strong enough, it's gonna push you and push you forward to get out of this. So they can't lock this forever, for now, this year, because people will fight against it. But in the future, they will lock down communities, blocks forever, and make it into forever no freedom zone. That's the future for the people who complied and not doing anything against it. And for the people who fight and against it, they will have measures which are using the armies and with the excuse of riot and disharmony or whatever. Their excuses. They always have excuses, and to use their army to have even vicious measures, which are soldiers holding gun pointed at you. If you dare not complying, we bang. That's their measure in the future. But they can't do it now because people are still not compliant enough. The government here, the CDC of China are saying, well, the vaccine is that word mandatory, meaning that you take it under your will. If you don't want to take it, you don't have to take it. That's what the CDC says. Chinese CDC says it's mandatory. Is that meaning of mandatory? It's it's out of your will. If you don't want to take it, you don't have to take it. That's the expression of CDC here. But in the future, it's not gonna be nice like that. Now they are playing yes man, good guy. Yeah, we're kind, we're friendly, we're respect your freedom, respect your free will. But in the future, that's a typical reptilian, typical snake. They are a snake. Why there are snakes circling around this cane, which is a symbol of the worldwide medical industry, because they are snakes. They're reptilians. Their genetic is all about manipulating and control. It's literally this snake. Right now the snake is going around and around with your neck. Once it goes like, and it goes, you can't breathe. And then they release, you'll be like, and then suddenly, the way to kill you. That's their way to kill you. Right now, at this moment, it's still not, at least here in China, because people are so compliant, are so pro this government, so they don't have to take vicious measures like that yet. Until people can no longer take it, then they will push this military lockdown, military whatever control. Right now it's not the time because they don't have to do it. So right now they push this PCR test, rounds and rounds and rounds of PCR test. Right now it's the 5th round. I think they push like PCR tests every fucking week or every few days. It's ridiculous. Rounds after rounds after rounds PCR test, which is not designed to test virus. And I didn't take none of that. There are people just who working for the medical big pharma, knocking on every neighbor's door. Have you taken the PCR test? Not vaccine yet, but the PCR. Have you taken the PCR test? Have you taken the PCR test? And they ask neighbors to monitoring each other. Have you taken the PCR test? Have you taken the PCR test? If you don't take, you will face, laws. It's all there to make you fear, but they are the criminals. the law they are made up for. They should be fear, not you. And they have been knocking on people's doors, and they say they will have 6 rounds of PCR test. Let's say they will push actual 9 rounds of tests, maybe 12 rounds, whatever. And I won't take none of that. I will stay invisible. The way I plan to get around it is to pretend no one at home. You can't open the door if there's no one actually living in the home. So now I have a month's worth of food supply. I can stay at home, not get out for a month. But the problem is my mom. She don't get it, and she went to the PCR test, and she treated like what you're supposed to do, and she asked me to do it. My reply is fuck off. I'm not gonna do that, and I pretty much make my own door looking like have been someone living in there for months. And they can't push this forever, otherwise people would riot. So they promise you to only have 3 more rounds of PCR tests and we are free. Maybe they will fulfill the promise, so people will happy. And when that's breathing choke, I'm getting out. Right now at this moment, I'm raising up money, I'm selling up stuff, I'm still doing it to get my truck and trailer ready. to buy stainless steel, to ask my guy to make the new track for me, and to make the components for the trailer ready. And myself getting other stuff ready. Everything for going, and everything else not for this track and trailer. I will try to give up and let go and sell it. Sell it to trade money for the freedom. That's what I'm doing right now, because I'm going to leave the city for at least 2 years, and there's a time point which is at 2024. There will be something happen in 2024, I believe. A lot of other people believe it as well. So I am for 2 years out of the city, have off-grid life. That's my plan. No one knows it, and I'm doing it every single day. I wake up when the time I wake up. Doesn't matter it's day or night. I wake up, I'm doing shit. If it's night, I do my research online. If it's day, I do my basketball stuff at my home. And when they raise the restriction, when people can freely go in and out again, in that really narrow choke point, I get out, because they will push it back in winter. More PCR tests, people will comply, and it will be very negative and depressing. There will be riots. There will be further, even more vicious control. And soon the snake will reveal itself, but it's too late for some people. They were already deep into it. They can't get out. They can shut down the electricity. They can shut down the oil pumping system. No oil, no driving cars, no electricity, no food. They will shut down the transportation chain. No food, nothing. And you will be forced. Because you are starving. People will starving. You will be forced to do whatever they say. You do whatever we say, you get to eat food. Otherwise, you die. But what made me realize is that without YouTube, there's a perfect balance when you're creating and try to influence other people's thoughts. Just make YouTube, and when you're too deep into it, it kind of drags you down. And I'm kind of let this internet restriction do its part. It forced me to get out of YouTube, and I'm actually managed to greatly pushing my process forward. So I take this YouTube restriction, not just YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, World Wide Web is unaccessible at this moment. And you don't even know which VPN works. Sometimes VPN don't work. Right now I have one VPN which works, but if I really try it, I maybe can upload YouTube videos still with that VPN. But I'd rather take this as a chance for me to calm down and focus on my own stuff. And within this year 2021, I'm going to leave.